Good day, everyone. This is Navarro Nicolette. It's more fun in the Philippines. Philippines consists of three major island groups. These are the Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. The Philippines has 17 regions. In Luzon Island Group, we have the Region 1, the Ilocos region, Region 2, the Cagayan Valley, Region 3, the Central Luzon, Region 4, the Calabarzon, Region 5, the Bicol region, the Mimarapar region, CAR or Cordillera Administrative Region, and the NCR or National Capital Region. In Visayas Island Group, we have the Region 6, which is the Western Visayas, the Region 7, which is the Central Visayas, and the Region 8, which is the Eastern Visayas. And in Mindanao Island Group, we have the Region 9, which is the Zamboanga Peninsula, the Region 10, which is the Northern Mindanao, the Region 11, which is the Davao region, the Region 12, which is the Sorsogon, the Region 13, which is the Caraga region, and the BARMM or Autonomous Region of Bangsamoro. And now, here are 10 regions that I will share about their culture, language, traits, cultural beliefs, traditional practices, and their flora and fauna. Let's start in Luzon Island Group, which is the Region 1 or the Ilocos region. Region 1 or the Ilocos region is located in northwestern region portion of Luzon. It consists of 4 provinces, namely Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, La Union, and Pangasinan. Their cultural language and traits are Ilocanos are known to be hardworking and frugal, hardy in the face of adversity, respect and humility in everyday dealings mark the Ilocano personality. They live simply, concentrating on work and productivity. Local artisans like fabric weavers and potters are famous for their skilled craftwork. Ilocano is an Austronesian language spoken in the Philippines, primarily by Ilocano people and as a lingua franca by the Igorot people. It is the third largest language of the Philippines after Tagalog and English. The Ilocanos are hardworking, determined, simple, and as well as appreciative. But they are also known for being stingy, kuripot in their tongue. Yet, for them, being cold this is just a joke among all Filipinos, not as a negative description of their kind. It is their characteristics that our nationality have grown to understand. Their cultural beliefs and traditional practices. In death, Filipinos in Ilocos have funeral and burial traditions known as the pompon or burial rites. The wife of the deceased person prepares the body with specially chosen clothes by herself and is placed in a coffin in the center of the house when done. In wedding tradition, Ilocanos have a very strong family tie, just like all Filipinos. They follow all the norm inside the house and within the family, like the father being the head, the one who provides, and for the family to survive, the mother being the light of the home, the one who takes care of the children and manages all house finances. Plus, the Ilocanos have high respect to their parents, which is absolutely evident in their marriage traditions. Under flora and fauna is that Capas-capas, it can be found in Ilocos Norte. Capas-capas flowers usually open during the summer, and its fruits are numerous during the months of August to December. In Ilocos, flowers and fruits are sold in bunches during each season of flowering and fruiting. Ducula is a genus of penguin family, Columbidae, collectively known as imperial penguins. They are large, very large penguins with a heavy belt and medium to long tails. They are arboreal, feed mainly on fruit, and are closely related to the other genus of fruit-eating doves. Region 2 or the Cagayan Valley. Region 2 or the Cagayan Valley is strategically located on the northeastern part of mainland Luzon. It composed of 5 provinces, namely the Valley provinces of Cagayan and Isabela, the mountain provinces of Quirino and the Nueva Vizcaya, and the island province of Batanes. Under culture, language, and traits are Cagayan is a very ancient civilization. It has its distinct, rich, and diverse culture. Commerce and trade was practiced by its inhabitants and has flourished with the Japanese, Chinese, and the other neighbor Asian countries, even before the Spanish colonies reached its shores. People of the Cagayan Valley region can speak and understand English and Filipino. Under other dialects are Ibanag, Itawis, Ilocano, Maluwig. Rich in coastal resources, Region 2 has a total of 5,640 hectares of mangrove, 15,437 hectares corals, and 4,089 hectares of seagrasses. It is home to the Cagayan River or Rio Grande de Cagayan, the longest and largest river in the Philippines with 520-kilometer total stretch and drainage area of 2.8 million hectares. And their cultural beliefs and traditional practices is that they wear simple clothes. Old women wore fan and kimono while men use camisa, di chino, or the barong tag. The Japanese have influence. Before marriage, Ilocano children will ask for the approval of the same set of parents first. Parents decide if they want to agree to let their children get married. It was his parents who would pay the dowry and finance the marriage. An argument is when a boy expresses his desire for the girl to marry his parents. Under flora and fauna is fossilized flowers look like dried flowers, but they are in fact not made of flowers but of alibangbang leaves that have been dried, bleached, and dyed. The fossilized flowers making industry in Quirino province was a product of the initiative of the provincial government to create livelihood for its citizens and to create a product that would represent the province. Rhinella marina is a non-native species that may have originally been introduced to the Philippines during the Industrial Revolution and the major sugar cane agriculture production boom on the central Philippine island of Negros. Region 3 or the Central Luzon. Region 3 or the Central Luzon is an administrative region in the Philippines, primarily serving to the organized 7 provinces of vast central plains of the island of Luzon for administrative convenience. The region contains the largest plain in the country and produces most of the country's rice supply, earning itself the nickname Rice Granary of the Philippines. Its provinces are Aurora, Bataan, Bulacan, Nueva Ecija, Pampanga, Tarlac, and Zambales. Their culture, language, and traits is that culture here is number 1 and there are incredible fiestas that reflect each town's distinct culture. From the giant lantern parade in San Fernando, Pampanga, to the fertility rites in Obando, Bulacan. For stunning nature, the province of Aurora has stunning 328-kilometer coastline where beach and surf rule, and so on. The Central Luzon languages are Kapampangan, Sambalic languages, Sinauna, Dumagat, Tagalog, and Ilocano. Central Luzon is a combination of towering mountains, extinct and active volcanoes, lush, verdant farmlands, and natural sea harbors. It is one of the leading growth regions in the Philippines. Strategically located at the heart of Asia, Region 3 lies between Manila and northern Luzon. Their cultural beliefs and traditional practices is that, just like the other ethno-linguistic groups, the Kapampangans have rich costumes and tradition governing the rites of passage. Some of these practices are still being observed nowadays. Birth practices in one of the barrios of Guagua, Pampanga, close relatives of a woman who is about to deliver a child, together with their neighbor, make noise like shouting, beating tin cans, and exploding firecrackers in order to help expel the fetus faster. Under flora and fauna is that Tristaniopsis decorticata, the tree is harvested from the wild for the commercial use of its wood. Endemic in the Philippines and considered as critically endangered. is an evergreen tree growing 15 to 20 meters tall. Flame-breasted fruit dove, also endemic in the country, and its natural habitats are subtropical or tropical moist forest and also an endangered species. In Visayas Island Group, we have the Region 6 or the Western Visayas. Region 6 or Western Visayas is an administrative region in the Philippines. It consists of 6 provinces: Aklan, Antique, Capiz, Guimaras, Iloilo, and Negros Occidental. Their culture, language, and traits is that Western Visayas is known for its yearly grand festivals. Foremost is the Ati-Atihan in Kalibo, Aklan, an indigenous festival believed to have originated when the Negritos and the Bornean Malay celebrated a joint festival after a peaceful talk over the barter of panay. The languages native to the inhabitants of Western Visayas are Hiligaynon, spoken in Iloilo, Negros Occidental, Guimaras, and Capiz, where it is known as Capisnon. It is the lingua franca of the region. Kinaraay, spoken in Antique and parts of Iloilo, Capiz, and Aklan. Akyanon, spoken in Aklan. Region 6 is an agricultural region with an area of around 1.5 m hectares or 52% of the total land area. 35.4 of this is rice land. The region also produces sugar, coconut, banana, fruits, root crops, and vegetables. It is one of the top food producers in the country. Their cultural beliefs and traditional practices is that from the historical point of view as far tradition is concerned. The Kalibo Ati-Atihan Festival in honor of the Santo Niño is a pagan festival raised to the level of Christianity where human established costumes and traditions were transformed in a collective display of faith. Despite the prevalence of Christianity, native belief about the Aswang and the Babaylan are still prevalent among the people. Their flora and fauna are tawa-tawa, also known as gatas-gatas, a hairy herb grown in open grassland, roadsides, and pathways. This indigenous plant is considered as one of the most popular folkloric treatment for dengue in the Philippines. Rufous-headed hornbill, locally known as dulungan, this critically endangered species of hornbill is found in Negros and Panay. Region 7 or Central Visayas. Region 7 or Central Visayas is composed of Cebu, Bohol, Negros Oriental, and Siquijor. Central Visayas is the second smallest region in the Philippines. Their cultural beliefs and traditional practices is that Sinulog is the biggest and most colorful festival in Cebu. The neighboring towns of Cebu, on the other hand, have their versions of their festivals. It is popular among the Visayas that after giving birth, the placenta is buried in the beach so that they can say that the baby will be healthy as he grows up. It seems lucky when the first child grows up. While in the first haircut of the child, the haircuts will be placed in the middle of the pages of the Bible or any book so that the child will grow up to love reading. It is also a big thing for the Visayas not to sweep while on hill because it can cause other family members to die as well. Their flora and fauna are huyas have 5 pointed star-like shaped flowers. It originated or was discovered in Matutinaw, Bajan, Cebu, by David Bicknell. It can be easily reproduced or propagated through the cutting of stems and is usually classified as a household plant. Philippine tarsier, one of the smallest primates in the world, perching on a bamboo shoot among bamboo leaves in a tropical rainforest. Region 8 or Eastern Visayas. Region 8 or Eastern Visayas is one of the 17 regions of the Philippines. It is composed of 3 main islands: Leyte, Samar connected by the San Juanico Bridge, and the Bilaran Island. It consists of 6 provinces, 1 independent city and 1 highly urbanized city, namely Bilaran Eastern Samar, Leyte, Northern Samar, Samar, Southern Leyte, or City, and Tacloban. Their culture, language, and traits is that the culture is basically Visayan. The Waray-Waray are often stereotyped as brave warriors, as popularized in the tagline, Basta ang Waray, hindi uurong sa away, or Waray never back down from a fight. Farming and fishing are the main livelihood. The main languages spoken are Cebuano and Waray-Waray, or speakers of these languages also call their languages Visayan. A third language known as Inabaknon is spoken in the island of Kapol in northern Samar. It is also known for its abundant deposit of metallic and non-metallic minerals. Region 8 takes pride of its 3.6 million people or 2,000 census of population and housing. The mostly speak two dialects, Waray and Cebuano. The region is also endowed with beautiful natural attractions like beaches, caves, mountains, and lakes. Their cultural beliefs and traditional practices is that many Waray-Waray traditions can be traced to pre-colonial times. For example, the Kuratsa dance is very popular traditional dance of the Waray-Waray at many social gatherings, especially weddings. It is very common throughout summer. The couple who dances the Kuratsa are showered with money by the people around them. The belief is that the more money showered upon them, the more blessings will come their way. Their flora and fauna is that Bigonia in Samar Island being the third largest island in the Philippines and dominated by lowland evergreen rainforest and limestone forest. It is no wonder that Samar Island is one of the outstanding centers of plant diversity in the country. Giant golden crown flying fax. The golden crown flying fax is the largest bat in the world, endemic to the Philippines and belongs to the fruit bats. In Mindanao Island Group, we have the Region 9. Region 9, also known as the Zamboanga Peninsula region, lies at the southernmost portion of the Philippine archipelago. It composed of three provinces, Zamboanga del Norte, Zamboanga Sibugay, and Zamboanga del Sur, and five cities, Dapitan, Dipolog, Pagadian, Zamboanga, and Isabela. It has 8 congressional districts and 7 municipalities. Their culture, language, and traits is that Zamboanga Peninsula is rich in culture. The languages spoken around the region is Chabacano, Cebuano or Bisaya, Tagalog, Maranao, and Subinin. It is a Spanish-based Creole language. It is a combination of vocabulary mainly from Spanish, with grammar mainly from Tagalog and Cebuano. The industry sector of Region 9 is characterized by a proliferation of macro, small, and medium-scale companies. Most manufacturing activities are based in the cities of Zamboanga, Dipolog, and Pagadian. The region has vast forest resources. Logs, lumber, veneer, and plywood are once among its major export products. Their cultural beliefs and traditional practices is that the indigenous beliefs of the Subanon include the generation of a supreme being called Diwata Migbibaya. Today, the Subanon people have adopted either Islam, Catholicism, or Evangelical Protestantism, the last particularly among the Subanon in Lapuyan, Zamboanga del Sur. The Subanon are traditionally farmers and regularly move from one location to another to clear more forest for fields. They cultivate crops with rice as the most important crop, but they are also known to raise livestock including pigs, chickens, cattle, and water buffaloes. Subanon houses are built along hillsides and ridges overlooking family fields. The homes are usually rectangular and raised on stilts with thatched roofs. Their flora and fauna is that nightshade cactus, this type of cactus blooms at night. The flower closes up during the day. In the early mornings, the flower is still open. As the sun comes up and the heat of the day increases, the flower begins to close. The spiny tree frog is a species of frog. It is endemic to the Philippines and occurs on Mindanao. Region 10 or Northern Mindanao. Region 10 or Northern Mindanao is an administrative region in the Philippines, and it comprises 5 provinces: Bukidnon, Camiguin, Misamis Occidental, Misamis Oriental, and Lanao del Norte. And 2 cities classified as highly urbanized, all occupying the north-central part of Mindanao Island and the island province of Camiguin. Their culture, language, and traits is that Northern Mindanao is a region rich in culture, which can be seen in the numerous festivals. There are a lot of ethnic languages in the region. Bisaya, Boholano, and Cebuano are the major ones. Native languages are still used like Higaonon in Misamis Oriental, Maranao in Lanao del Norte, Subanin in Misamis Occidental, Binukid in Bukidnon, and Kinamigin in Camiguin. English and Tagalog are also understood. Geologically, the region is a combination of plains, rolling hills, mountains, and coastal areas with rich soil, abundant minerals, and agricultural resources. It has a strategic location, which is why it serves as the gateway from the rest of Mindanao. Their cultural beliefs and traditional practices is that the famous festival in the region is the Lanzones Festival in Camiguin, which is a 4-day celebration of this fruit. It is held every 3rd week of October. It is essential to note that the sweetest lanzones can be found in the island of Camiguin. Regularly celebrating different causes as one whole community shows that the citizens of Region 10 value camaraderie and friendship. Some part of this region are known to have preserved their tribal beliefs and costumes. An example is the Higaonon in a mountain tribe in Bukidnon. Apparently, they still believe in the existence of spirit and gods. Furthermore, they have God for each element. Another superstition is they need to please the spirits so they will experience some good in return. People in this tribe still live according to their traditions with farming as their primary source for income. The flora and fauna is that the yellow rhododendron is a compact and rounded evergreen that provides a stunning addition to any scene. Fragrant blooms develop in the late spring and early summer. These flowers are impossible to miss. Plus, they look fresh and maintain their color throughout the spring. Carabao is a native Filipino word meaning water buffalo. Carabao are incredible animals that are used for work and farming tasks. Region 11 or the Davao Region. Region 11 or the Davao Region is an administrative region in the Philippines. It is situated at the southeastern portion of Mindanao and comprises 5 provinces: Davao de Oro, Davao del Norte, Davao del Sur, Davao Oriental, and Davao Occidental. Their culture, language, and traits is that Davao is a melting pot of various cultures, which include minority indigenous groups such as the Bagubo, Mandaya, Mansaka, and Magindanaos. The locals, who refer to themselves as Davaoenos and Davaoenas, are a friendly bunch who shares a fierce pride in their home and heritage. The languages spoken around the region are Cebuano, Ilonggo, Ilocano, and Tagalog are the common dialects beside those spoken by the tribal communities. The region is characterized by extensive mountain ranges extending along the western border. In the northern central area and in the northwestern area leading to the peninsula in the southeast, with an even distribution of plateaus and lowlands. Its coastline reached to 1,600 square kilometers. The area is dominated by peninsular and island topography. Cultural beliefs and traditional practices. Kadayawan Festival, known as the Festival of All Festivals, is a week-long celebration and thanksgiving for Davao City's bountiful harvest. Its name derives from the friendly greeting Madayaw, from the Dawenyo word Dayaw, meaning good, valuable, superior, or beautiful. The festival is a celebration of life, a thanksgiving for the gifts of nature, the wealth of culture, the bounties of harvest, and serenity of living. The festival is renowned internationally and is celebrated annually every third week of August. The activity culminates with its colorful, grand floral parade of mobile floats full of real and fresh flowers, and the festive dancing in the streets. Under flora and fauna is that the waling-waling has since been successfully transplanted from its natural environment and cultivated in many of Dabao's flower farms. The home of Crocodile Farm, where you can find so much fun and excitement in watching saltwater crocodiles. Lastly, the Region 12. Region 12 or Soc-Surgen is located in South Central Mindanao. It is composed of 4 provinces, namely South Cotabato, Cotabato, Sultan Kudarat, and Sarangani, as well as 5 cities, namely General Santos, Cotabato, Caronidal, Tacurong, and Kidapawan. Their cultural language and trait is that a pair of agongs is one of the instruments found in the Kulintang symbol, and Region 12 is home to a fascinating culture that revolves around Kulintang music, a specific type of gong music found among both Muslim groups, such as the Maguindanao, the non-Muslim groups such as the Tiroray of the southern Philippines. Languages spoken are Hiligaynon, Ilocano, Maguindanao, Cebuano, and Chabacano. Dominant religion are Roman Catholic and Islam. The region has extensive coastlines, valleys, and mountain ranges. Known for its river system, the region is the Kutch Basin of Mindanao, particularly at the Cotabato Basin, a large depression surrounded by mountain ranges on 3 sides. Their cultural beliefs and traditional practices is that the empire's rich tri-people culture, adventure, and nature are alive as Cotabato celebrates Kaliyungan Festival on August 26 to September 1 as part of its 99th founding day. Coined from the indigenous Manubo word which means gathering, the festivity showcases ethnic music and dance, rituals, and rich culture. Tiduray people believe in Katya or short prayer or orasyon, Morka or Gaba, in Dagiton or spirits or soul, and supernatural powers. Tinduray believe in the existence of Kuwik, Busaw, Fagad or Kapre, and Aligasi or Higante. Under flora and fauna is that pineapples were mainly produced by farmers in Topi town and the neighboring areas in South Cotabato. The Philippine eagle is the national bird of the Philippines. In Region 12, it resides in the lowland and mountain forest in Cotabato and South Cotabato.